Well, welcome everyone. I'm so happy to be back on Sam Via Professional. My first class was a year and a half ago. It was called Rock and Roll Hair. We followed up with Rock and Roll Hair Refresh, which is all about cutting and styling. And today, this is all about rock and roll hair styling. I'm gonna go beginning to end, all those nifty little touches and tricks that you can offer your guest, your client, or even if you're just a consumer or one of my clients watching at home, this is gonna be helpful for all of us. So rock and roll hair, shags, mullets, layers, sexy volume, all that texture. How do you get it and how do you get it easily? Step one, it really is about building the foundation. Hair completely wet, you want to start by adding a product that's going to build the foundation. So 9 out of 10 times for me on these rocker looks is going to be a sea salt. Sea salt on dry hair. Really don't be afraid of it. Spray the base. If you want amazing texture, use sea salt spray as a root volumizer on the base. So I'm just going to go ahead and load this hair up. Here I'm using the Redken Fashion Waves 07. I like it because it's not crunchy. And if you notice, it's a fine mist. So you really get a good, nice, lightweight texture. Another favorite sea salt is the Jelly by Colton King. Good till the last drop here. Whatever product you're using, you really want to make sure that you are educating your client, or if you're doing this yourself, you really know how to apply the product correctly. So start by rubbing it in your hands like lotion. Like really work the product in, whatever you're using, rub it in your hands like lotion. So it's really worked in there. Now we want to apply top to bottom, back to front. Notice how I'm using my hands as a comb, applying products all throughout. Why we rub the hand in our hand like lotion like that, it's because we can continue to pull from the well of our palms to add more product rather than going in and dipping and dipping and dipping. Rub it in your hands like lotion, and there you go. That's all you need. All right, so once we've had our products of choice in there, this is where we're going to set the foundation so you can have an air-dried, lived-in style. Now, wash and wear shags, rocker hair, it's really about feeling free, having that organic, easy, low-key texture to where like you didn't try too hard, So let's start with the fringe. We got a good bit of sea salt spray in there. Use your fingers to sculpt the hair into the shape in which you want it to go. So really use your comb, use your hands, get in there, look in the mirror and sculpt the shape. So I am combing the fringe forward, and then we are creating a little swoop and flip upwards on each side. Combing the fringe forward and using our hands to start sculpting it into place. Okay, this is what we call a wet set, y'all. A wet set is when you let the hair dry naturally after you form a shape into it. So we're gonna work through all of our layers first. We'll start with the lengths. And we're loaded with product, so that's gonna help support the shape. Grab the tendrils loosely, not too done, not too rigid. You want this to be loose and natural, lived in. So twist the hair away from the face, pinch the root, and give it a little shake to activate. If you want bigger waves, just give it a little massage and fan that hair open just a little bit. You can do this as tight as you want or as loose as you want. I prefer a more looser, modern, relaxed type of wave for these rocker styles. So work the hair through your hands. You can feel the product in there. We applied a good amount of sea salt. Twist, twist, twist. Pinch at the root, give it a shake to activate that wave. Massage it open and let it set. Don't touch. We're creating a wet set. So just put it in there and don't touch. If this is your guest in the salon behind the chair, you will simply be guiding them through this whole look so they can recreate it at home. Once you get the hang of it, once you're in the flow, it really only takes about 5-10 minutes to do a full wet set, no matter what type of hair that you have. So working through, again, twist, loose twist, using our best tool here, our hands, really easy. Pinch, shake to activate, and there you have it. We have most of the hair already wet set. How easy is this? Do any of y'all do wet sets or show your guests how to do these behind the chair? Because I think, as hairdressers, we want to go straight for the round brush and do all these hard styling techniques, when really, sometimes this type of teaching our guests these kinds of looks is the most valuable for them, because this is something that they can really recreate at home and do themselves. So loosely gathering hair and twisting it. Easy? Type easy in the chat if you think that you can handle this and if your guests will like this. Yeah. So twist, letting it form into place, organically, visually, pinching the hair, twist, shake, and rest. So we've just created a wet set, forming the hair into place, using sea salt as the foundation of the structural base. So now what happens when it's dry? How do we handle this? Well, first of all, tell your guests, or if you're at home doing this yourself, don't touch it until it's totally dry. When the hair is dry, that means it's set, and that means it's okay to crack the curl open and unwrap the present, so to speak. So this is the wet set. I've had a wet set drying overnight, same products. You can see that it is dry. It feels a little bit stiff. So we want that awesome shaken up look. So what do you think we're gonna do? Yeah, we're gonna shake this set up. Now that it's dry, we're gonna do that, and we know that the shape that we formed in our set is going to hold its form. Now, I love to go in there and just start shaking it up with my hands, kind of like, I don't know, I'm like a cat, scratching at a post here. More gently, don't hurt your client, especially if I have long fingernails. Check out the beautiful waves coming open as I'm just gently raking my fingers through that hair. Oh my gosh, coming alive. Okay. The fringe we've sculpted and molded in the direction that we want. Simply crack it open. And check out that easy volume. Simply by building the foundation, putting the product in there properly, really working it in our hands, really applying it fully so the product can do the job. And then once we open it, look at how much that shape breathes, and you just have this awesome, cool, rocker, lived-in texture. And this is great for, day one styling, like day one of your week. I hope we're not shampooing and conditioning and full styling our hair every day, especially with rocker hair. It's like the more gritty, the more texture that's in your hair, the better it looks, All right, so this was our step one, building the foundation, wet set styling. If you feel like you can do this easily, type in the chat I got this. Yes, thank you, Allie. Awesome, I love this technique. I really want to emphasize with these rocker hairstyles, it's really about putting your signature in it, putting your flavor in it. So don't be scared to go back in there and really work your hands in the hair. This is your art. This is your sculpture. The more you touch it, the more energy you give it. You see what I mean? So don't be scared to go in there and work that style. All right. Thank you to our lovely model for demonstrating a wet set. How easy is that? So what happens when, it's day 2, day 3, you did that wet set, and now we wake up like this and our hair's a little rough, it's a little wild, it's a little crazy. You got to go to work and look presentable, right? How can we take slept on hair and not have to wash it and not have to dry it, just a little touch of styling to make it pop? I'm going to share with you my favorite trick, which is using a round brush and taking your favorite heat protection. So whatever it is, use your Samvia round brush and your favorite heat protection. Here I'm using Redken Quick Blowout. I'm spraying the brush, not the hair, giving the brush a coat. And now to reform these bangs or the fringe, the forward bits here, what we're going to do is take our round brush that's loaded with heat protection, scoop it down the forehead, dry hair, get that hair in the brush, stay still, scoop that hair in the brush, and then take your blow dryer. Here I'm using my Samvia Vision. Love this one. So heat. Scooping the hair forward, rolling the hair diagonal back here because you want it to open up away from the face. And once that brush is cooled down, scoop it out. And you can see how you've created a more polished, flicky bit, like a nice little hair flick or a flip, whatever you want to call it. Again, hands being our best tool. After you've created the shape, use your hands to really emphasize the drama. So we've taken our round brush to add a little bit of definition on dry hair. I'm going to show you again on this side. Okay, you wake up, your hair's a little messy and crazy, you need some polish. Take your favorite heat protection, spray your brush, roll that brush forward, back, so it will open up the eyes and the hair will be free away from the eye. Take your blow dryer, heat. You can use the cold set button on your blow dryer to really lock that shape in place, or you can just let it cool. I like rolling as it's cooling just to really grasp that hair and polish and then guide it to where we want it to go. If you don't have time to wait for it to cool, or if you don't have an amazing cold shot button like I do on your blow dryer, what you can do to really help cool this down quickly is take a dry hair powder. This is great because it will add texture as well. So I'm going to use my Redken Windblown 05. Give it a little short burst. This comes out really, really cold. That cold blast from the product is going to help set this wave and cool it down. So rolling forward, diagonal back. You can see how we've created a beautiful flicky flip. So how easy is that? More easy, quick rocker hairstyling tricks and techniques for you. Take your hands. The sea salt foundation is still in there from a couple days before. If you want volume, use your hands. Again, our best tool is our hands. Lift and sculpt. Messy, organic, free, rock and roll hair is what we want. Cute. So it went from slept on, disheveled, kind of gnarly looking hair to cute and polished and a little bit more refined. Shags forever. All right, we're gonna move on to the next thing. I know this is a lot of stuff for y'all today, but I wanted to cram all these different useful hairstyling hacks for rocker hair in one short segment here. So we can go on. If you're ready for more, type it in the chat. Ready for more? Ready for more?
Hey, Amanda.
Yeah.
We got some really good questions. It was actually about the wet set really fast. So yeah. How do you get it dry within the time your client's in their chair? Do you have them finish the style at home? Do you put them under a hooded dryer?
Very good. So great question. If this was your guest in the salon doing a wet set, how does it dry? Okay, so you could, send them home like this, or you could put them underneath a hooded dryer and show them how to shake it up. This is going to be step one, the easiest way to do things. Put them under the hooded dryer, or if they're comfortable going home wet and doing it themselves, that's cool too. I like to do the wet set and then go and show them a couple additional techniques on top of that during the service. So sometimes that means putting them under the hooded dryer so it dries all the way. Now, I'm really excited about this one. Oh, hi, Katie. What's up?
There's one more question too with the wet set. Does that technique work on clients who have a little bit of a wave, or any texture type can have that kind of wet set style?
Yeah, definitely. I think the concern with wet sets is that you have to have some sort of natural texture for it to work. But me having baby fine hair myself, I understand that concern. As long as you load it up with sea salt, that's really the magic trick to get that specific type of wet set. If the hair is really curly and wavy, instead of a sea salt, maybe you'll want to use a different type of product, like a silkening mousse or a balm or a cream to help it out. Hope that answered your question. Thank you for that. Anything else, Katie, before we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. So I'm really enjoying this next one, y'all. I recently started doing this again for my guests, and they are so excited. They've never seen anything like this, and it's crazy because it's so simple. We're going to be using our good old-fashioned paddle brush. This is a traditional paddle brush, right? You got that cushion. The prongs are pretty far apart. The paddle brush is big, so you can get a lot of coverage in one swoop. I'm going to elevate it to the next level and choose my Samvia Artist Series paddle brush. So see the difference here? This one's going to give us a little more tension and a little bit more control than what this can offer, but they're both going to be, you can use both of these in this technique. All right, so this is for hair that is 70 to 80% dry. You want to use this technique, hair that's 70 to 80% dry. We're going to take our paddle brush. Don't be too rigid again with this technique because you want it to be organic and lived in. Check out this big chunk of hair. That's a lot, right? That's a big chunk of hair. If I was to use a traditional round brush, I might not get it the way that I want it to look. But with a paddle brush, oh my gosh, I can cover so much ground. So check it out. I'm going to, again, hair is 70 to 80% dry. I'm going to adjust this doll so she stops moving here. There we go. Paddle brush. Scoop that hair up in that paddle brush. Heat, heat, heat. And twist. Heat, heat, heat. And twist. Heat, heat, heat. And twist. Leave the ends out for a more lived-in, textury feel. So this is what I call a paddle brush wave. you can get the hair styled into this beachy paddle brush wave style, whole head in like 5 minutes. I just posted my first TikTok video on this technique. I don't know how y'all feel about TikTok. I'm having a hard time with it, but it seems like people enjoyed that. I know that I enjoy doing this technique behind the chair because it's fun and fresh and easy. It's fast. So heat, 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 and twist. Heat, 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 and twist. Leave the ends out. Again, don't touch it until it's all done. You want that hair to cool down and to set. Okay. Scoop that hair in the brush, big section. Twist. Twist. And twist. Now I'm going to do two more pieces here, and then I've already have the rest of the hair styled. And that's set. And then we'll shake it up and you can see this texture as well. So I'm going to divide the front. We're going to use our, again, Vision Series blow dryer and our Samvia Artist Series paddle brush. When you're doing this technique, same principles of finishing apply. You want to sync up that brush with your blow dryer. Make sure the air is going through the brush, not blasting on the hair or on the scalp. So through the brush we go. Especially because there's no holes in a paddle brush. You want to make sure that you're not burning anyone. So we'll scoop that hair. I love the tension that this brush gives me. So heat, heat, heat. Don't you love that? Calm down. All right, let's try this again. She's going to sit still now. Okay. Put the brush in the hair. Airflow is going on the surface. Now we're going to twist. And we're going to twist again. And let it sit. Let it relax. Flat brush, paddle brush waves, y'all. How easy is this? And it's fun and cool. Instead of just doing the same old flat iron waves, which are awesome, but it's cool to have another tool in your toolbox, right? Heat it up, twist, heat it up, twist, and one more pass through. Here we have a full set of our paddle brush wave. Now we get to crack the set, unwrap the present, and see what type of texture that this technique creates. So a full head of paddle brush waves here. You can see what it looks like before touching it and going through it. Really loose, really relaxed. Okay, click this into place. I love to use, show you what I love to use here. A serum. Before I crack sets, I love to use a serum. Something lightweight and versatile. Again, work that product in properly. You don't want, especially with oil or serums, you do not want to have a big old like drop and then just put it on one spot and then it's greasy here and not greasy everywhere else. So heat it up, heat it up, heat it up. Really, really, really important to inform your guest or your client or yourself. Just know, like, heat that oil up before putting it through. Okay, using our best tools again, our hands, starting at the mids because this is an oil. We don't want to put it close to the scalp. We want volume. Now we're going to crack the curl. Cracking the curl. Oh, look at this beautiful, cool paddle brush set. Okay. Shaking it up. Shaking it up. Yes, I want to see y'all do this. And when you do this on a guest in the salon, please tag me. 'Cause I feel like it's really easy, but if y'all think it's really easy too, that will make me really, really happy. I try to share things that aren't too overwhelming that we can all do, no matter who you are or where you're at on your hair journey. So shaking that hair open, look at this beautiful lived-in beachy texture that we got. Oh, yes, feeling that. Everyone needs a little rock and roll in their life. I think I mentioned to y'all that I taught a class on shag haircutting last week in Birmingham, Alabama at Studio 21 Salon. They were awesome. And, you know, even down south, people are wanting a little bit more edge in their finishes and their styles. And yes, I have been curating a specific type of clientele for 16 years. And, you know, all my clients want shags and mullets. That's kind of my niche market here in the Pacific Northwest. But all over the country, when I'm teaching, people are wanting these looks. So here we are. I've cracked the sets. And this is where we really get to put our flavor on it and add some more volume. If you love volume, type in the chat, volume. I love volume. I feel like there's no such thing as too much volume almost. Okay, so here is our beautiful paddle brush set. I love to use a soft, flexible working spray to really set the shape. Lift up the hair and spray. Lift up the hair and spray. Hairsprays, especially working light ones, I love them because you give it a coat and it is drying as you're forming it. So if you want a little more definition, you see how I'm just spraying the hair and then using my hands to sculpt it and massage it open. Ooh, I'm seeing in the chat, volume, volume, volume. I love that. I'm glad y'all like volume too. And I feel like clients complain that they don't have enough volume. And you can show them how to get this easy volume by the right products and the right ways to style their hair at home. So hairspray, this is a light working spray. Notice how I'm spraying from the top, and giving it a little, we'll call it a crinkle, not a scrunch. We don't want to go back to the 80s where the hair feels, you know, like it did in the 80s. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? My mother was a hairdresser in the 80s. I was born in 87, and my first perm was, I think, when I was 3 years old. I had a permed bang. I remember the feeling of it, and she would hairspray it and backcomb it. I did not like. Okay, so seal the deal with some working spray. Don't be scared of your product, y'all. And here we have some sexy paddle brush waves. Those of you that are just tuning in, all we did was take the Sam Via Artist Series blow dryer and Artist Series paddle brush in our Vision blow dryer and did a heat, twist, heat, cool, and now we shook it up. Katie, do we have any questions so far?
This looks so effortless. I am loving it. There was a question, what product is good for straight hair to make it curly? I feel like your sea salt spray you talked about.
Yeah.
What was the name of that again?
Okay. So a couple different options. The sea salt spray here is Redken Fashion Waves. You have to shake it to activate it. You hear that clicker in it? Mm-hmm. This is a color safe sea salt spray. This is universal. It's good for everyone. My favorite and my client's favorite. And this is a really small indie brand, so you've never heard of it. This is Colton King. They're jelly. It's actually a pink Himalayan sea salt. And this one is more of a soft cream. So options, I think sea salts are sea salts. Just make sure if you're using color treated hair, that's a color safe sea salt. Yeah. Lisa, Amy, hi, thanks for your comment. You said, do you have a video of a shag haircut? Yes. This class, Rock and Roll Hairstyling, as I mentioned in the beginning, is the follow-up class to the shag cuts that I did on the Sam Via network prior to this. So if you want to go and learn a shag from me, go back in the YouTube vaults and I got you. Also, hit me up on Instagram. I love to share. That's like my method of contact for hairdressers. Reach out if you need any help. I'm happy to help. Okay, are we ready for more? I got some more stuff for you. So if you're ready to go, if you want to learn some more rockin' hairstyles, type in the chat. I'm ready. I'm ready. I've got so many irons behind me. I want to show you some cool iron work to get texture. I'm going to be using my Samvia Sleeker iron as well as my Samvia Texture iron and something that's very exciting. If you know what this is, you love it. The new Samvia Double Waver. I'm going to show you how to get some cool texture with this as well. Alrighty, volume. Everyone wants volume, especially for rock and roll hair. Think back to hair bands, right? Think back to even like the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger back in the day, the first shag. It's voluminous and it moves and it's got that cool texture. So how can we create it? If you know the wet set or the paddle brush waves aren't your thing, I got something for you with Ironworks. With iron work, working with an iron. I feel like, you know, hairdressers, we all have our preference. What's cool to me is just having lots of options. I get bored, I don't know about you, so I like to change it up constantly. That's why I have so many of these tricks, because I constantly got to change it up. Otherwise, I get bored. So we're going to start with our paddle brush. I'm sorry, my words are all backwards today. We are going to start with our flat iron, our sleeker iron. Again, heat protection is absolutely crucial. So I'm just going to mist the hair before we do any iron work. This is a game-changing technique. When you want a soft, easy, low-key wave, something like this, I'm going to show you how to get that. Take a section of hair, doesn't have to be too big, doesn't have to be too small. You're going to push that hair into the head, and you're going to push the hair through the flat iron to create a soft S wave. Notice I'm not twisting. I am simply feeding the hair through the iron. Check it out again. Big chunk of hair, big section. It doesn't have to be perfect. Notice how it is zigzagged here. That's great if you want more volume. Okay, so take the hair, push it into the head. Notice my flat iron. It's not moving. I'm going to be chomping that flat iron as I move the hair through that iron, creating a little S pattern as we go. So again, we let that wave cool. Do not touch your waves and curls until they're dry and cooled down. Let them set, let them wait. Let them rest, let them set. Okay? Give it a little push. Push, 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 tap, 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 push, 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 tap, tap, tap. And look at this cool wave we've achieved simply with our flat iron. Feeding the hair through the flat iron and just giving it a slight bend. I love using this technique on hair that's really puffy. You know, the hair that wants to grow out this way. Because what it does is it gives you a nice cool wave, but it doesn't build more volume. It compresses the shape so it looks more modern and a sleeker finish. So again, Samvia Sleeker iron, I have it on low setting. There's also a color treated setting on here if you want to go a little bit higher with your iron temperature, but you don't want to, you know, ruin your beautiful color work. Put it on that color treated setting. Push, 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 tap, tap, tap. Oh my gosh, look at that easy, effortless wave that we got in about 2 seconds. This is another really fun one that clients absolutely love. Every time I do this on like a new guest, literally they say, oh my gosh, I've never seen that before. So this is a fun one if you want to wow your guest and give them a cool texture that they maybe never had before. So one more and then we'll move on. Push, push, push. Tap, 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 feeding the hair into the iron to create a soft wave. And we're gonna crack this one open so we can see the different type of finish. I'm gonna use my soft working spray again. Hi from Huntsville, T-Spa. What's up, Jennifer? Oh, I love you all down there in Huntsville. Awesome. So we have cooled the wave set down with a spray. And now we can go in and crack that set open. Look at that cool S pattern that we get. I feel like you can't replicate this with a curling iron. This is a really unique type of finish. See how it looks a little crinkled and disheveled? It looks cool, but not too done. It doesn't look like you tried very hard at all. That's what we want with this rock and roll hairstyling. It's just cool, effortless hair. Okay, shake it up for some volume, lifting it up, stretching that hair, and just sculpting it how you want it to look. Gorgeous. If you can use this technique behind the chair, type I got this, because I know you got this. Awesome. Now, again, we've been talking about volume all day. Everyone wants volume. So what do you think we're going to use? We're going to use this texture iron. The hair is dry. The hair is super flat. How can we pop up that volume? What we can do is use our texture iron. Gosh, this is my favorite way to get effortless, easy volume. Check it out. Take a section. Yeah, you got this. Rebecca and Gabriella, Jorge. Love y'all. Hope you're doing good wherever you are in the world. Okay, texture iron. At the base, compress. 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 I'm going to zoom up close so you can see the indentation. You see it? That's our texture iron, y'all. You place this texture iron at the base of the hair, you get volume that is 3 times more volume. So if you have guests that complain about flat, fine hair and they just want fullness, but they don't really want to, spend all the time brown brushing and adding the mousses and stuff, get them to buy a texture iron. This is game changing. So we're going to compress at the base, work our way down. You don't have to camp out with this. Literally just a second, and it is doing the job. Okay, we're building more structure. Yes, okay, I'm seeing that we're loving the texture iron. Thanks for participating in the chat, y'all. It's weird doing this digital stuff. I travel all over the country and teach in person, hands-on workshops. I love that. That's my passion. I love to teach. And, half of it is the energy that you receive when you're in person and seeing the light bulbs go off. So I'm just imagining y'all out there hopefully having some light bulbs go off. Long story less long, thank you for typing in the chat. It makes me feel like I'm not alone. Okay, so we've really created a ton of volume at the base by using our texture iron. Now, the concern with this one is oftentimes that, oh my gosh, are you going to see that crimp in the hair? I don't want to see the crimp. The answer is that this texture iron is so micro fine, you do not see the crimp unless you want to, and you literally have hairspray in it and crimp, and then don't shake it up. The second you shake it up, that crimp appearance goes away. So you get mad awesome volume with that. Okay, I want to show you another way to use this iron if you want a ton of volume, especially if you're going to a concert and you want some rockin' awesome hair, you can actually take your texture iron to back comb. So check out this. Lift that hair straight up like a ladder, lots of tension. Take that iron and compress. And as you would back comb, lots of volume. Okay, straight up, back comb with your flat iron. I mean, you can go really wild with this volume if you want. Again, I'm building a foundation here. I want to create a little cushion. So back combing with our iron. So much volume. Now, I don't want it to look like this, obviously. That's a little wild. So what I'm going to do is use my Samvia Artist Series paddle brush. I like it because it has the soft bristles in it, and you can simply comb the top to smooth it out a little bit. And you got that structure and that support in there. Okay, so we have our volume at the base. I showed you the flat iron push wave, and now I gotta show you my favorite time saver. If you love saving time on styling hair, you're like me. I want it to be easy and fast. So what's cool about the double waver is it comes in a heat protective pouch. So this is great when you're on the go, because turn it off, put it in there, and it's not going to, you know, melt your bag or whatever you're putting it in. All right, let's get the double waver heated up. If you've used this, type in the chat that you have used it. It's a newer tool from Sam, and I don't know why it hasn't just completely caught on. I love to retail this to my guests beyond the chair because this is something they can do at home really, really easily. So this side, we did our push wave with our flat iron, which created a fun soft wave. And let's go over here and show you what the double waver is all about. Okay? Yeah, double waver, we love it. Oh, Rebecca Chamberlain is saying, just what I needed to see today. Awesome, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. I love learning, and clearly y'all do too. It's fun getting together, and I think it's so awesome that, you know, the Samvia platform, it's just a community of hairdressers that really love the craft. We love to learn, love the artistry of it. All right, double waver, y'all. If you notice that there is 2 prongs, when you're thinking about placement of volume, I like to use this side at the base. So towards the root, I'm going to use this side. Now, to create more volume, I'm going to simply rock it upwards. I'm going to heat, rocking it upwards to make that volume pop out of the hair. So there we go. Oh yeah. You can see that nice double wave happening. So compress, move it down. You'll see that wave coming alive. Just follow through. Okay, watch it, release. That beautiful wave. Yes. Okay. Easy, easy. Got a perfect, cool wave in just a matter of seconds. So let's do another row, and then I'll show you the total potential of this double waver. It doesn't have to look so manufactured. Sometimes these built-in wavers or crimpers, it can look a little, you know, manufactured like doll hair. This doesn't do that. So rock the base, heat it up. You want that volume to pop. Okay, we'll compress. Another hot tip, if you want it to look not so manufactured, pinch some hair out at the root so it's not just, you know, clumped in there, clumped on the head. Okay, double waver, here we go. Taking a really wide, big section because this iron's pretty wide. You can get a lot of hair feeded through it really, really easily. Nice. Okay, look at that wave. Oh, this makes me so happy. My clients are loving this. especially, you know, if you want something easy, crimp, 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 all good. Okay, check that out. Samvia double waver. Thank you for existing. I love you. This is so fun. We're going to crack this wave open so we can see the true potential here. All right, you see that brilliant wave that it was created. It's a nice S pattern. Okay, let's go in there and shake it out. Oh my gosh, we just created so much volume. Look at that. So how long did that take? About a minute, right? So how long do you think it takes to do your whole head in this double waver? Oh my gosh, you can knock it out in about 10 minutes, even if you have really thick hair. Hot tips with this, again, rock the base at the top so you don't just get an instant compression. You want it to look natural. Yeah, we love this. Okay, I wanted to give you just a couple more things. I know we're wrapping it up here. We're running out of time, but oh, there's so much I want to share about these hairstyles. The double waver that we just did for this set, I discovered a way that you can make it look even cooler. So I've double waved this shag, double waved it all, and notice you can't really tell like what's going on here with the texture. It looks really cool. So after I double waved the whole head, guess what product I used? Been saying it all day, which is my favorite for rock and roll hair. I went in with Fashion Wave 07, a sea salt spray, and I misted it. We mist the hair, and then get your hands in there and rough it up, shake it up. If you want to build texture, if you want to build volume, if you want rocker hair, it needs that grit. So just mist it with some sea salt spray. Use your hands to get in there and work it. Ah, beautiful. Oh, you know the crown volume that everyone complains that it's too flat? Pro move, just scrunch. Okay, that word is 80s. Crinkle the hair. Use your hands, everyone, in your crown right now. Just grab that hair and build up the volume. We all could use a little bit more rock and roll crown volume. Yes, Katie. Okay, so you can get a really awesome effortless waves rocker look, double waver, and then again, just going in with your sea salt to make it more disheveled and build more volume. It's really great too. You have this kind of look to put your hair up. So sassy. Okay, a couple more things. This is like a more emo rocker look. We all remember this look, right? Twyla Jane, who's a Samvia ambassador, an amazing salon owner at Numos Locks. They cut this, or I'm sorry, they colored it and I cut it. So how to create that super sharp rocker definition. Remember like the emo phase of the early 2000s? Who had that look, emo hair? Did you, Katie?
Oh, yeah.
Were you a scene kid?
All in the face and a comb over.
Yes. All right, so we really want to see the definition in the points. You know, that piecey texture, just really sharp, like rocker hair, different vibe of rocker, but nonetheless, here we go. Just through the ends, use your sleeker, give it a pass, and no bevel. So straight, we want stick straight, straight out. I keep going. Once the hair is straight, now we get to put our signature on it. We get to really piece it out. So what I love to use is a hairspray. Best tip ever for chewy, pointy bits is take your hairspray, spray your fingertips. You get just a couple seconds to work it before it dries. There's something about hairspray that really creates the sharp definition. It's like super sharp. So hairspray, spray your fingertips. If you want this sharp, sharp, sharp rockin' definition, grab the layers and pinch them. Form them, drag them forward in whichever shape you desire. Look at that sharp texture. All right, this is for the folks that want the straighter hair. Again, hot tip, hairspray on your fingertips, y'all. It's a little sticky, but it is the best for really compressing ends. Yes, and making the sharp spikes. Not too sticky. The light working sprays work really good because you can build the product onto the hair rather than it being too sticky and your hands sticking together. So once we've separated the bits that we want into those strands, the really sharp strands, what do you think we're going to do? We've been talking all day. We're going to crack the sets. So I just want to emphasize with rocker hair, it is your artistic expression. It's literally like looking in the mirror, looking your guests in the mirror and building the shape with your hands, putting the feeling into it, putting your soul into it. It's an attitude, it's an expression. I like that word scrunch, says Candace. That's hilarious. All right. And now we've got some rockin' pointy hair. Wow, we did a lot of stuff today. Let's just do a little recap, shall we? Let's see if I can go back. We did the pointy, chewy textures, right, Katie, with hairspray.
Some Danzig hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here we have the double waver sea salt shag. Yeah, we like that one. What else did we do? Oh, I think my favorite, because I'm most excited about it, is the flat paddle brush wave. What else did we do? We did so many things. We did the wet set from wet to dry, showing the easiest texture. And we did a ton of volume work today using our texture iron, using our double waver, and using our sleeker flat iron. So I just want to say thank you all for allowing me to share some of my favorite ways to style hair on rock and roll clients, or anyone that just wants a little flavor, wants a little bit of attitude and energy into their hairstyle. I hope that I showed you it can be really easy, like literally so easy. You got this. Katie, what do you think?
This was awesome. So effortlessly cool. Like, and also I feel like that wet set is a great way for clients who maybe colored their hair during quarantine and need to heal and be on the path to, healthy lived in hair again. So
Absolutely.
so many different methods too. So thank you for showcasing all of those. I learned a ton. I can't wait to try that paddle brush blowout.
Oh yeah. Can't wait to see you do that. And I'll see you in Austin, Texas soon. We're doing a rock and roll photo shoot with the Sam Villa team.
I cannot wait. And I'm sure we'll be posting those photos months down the road. So y'all make sure you're following us on Instagram and follow Manda Ziegelman on Insta and TikTok.
Thank you all. I had so much fun today.